Hello dear learners, today we shall cover the topic on the expansion of the services and financial industries. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain what an economy is, define GDP, identify the three sectors of an economy, and lastly, compare the contribution of each sector of the Mauritian economy after independence. What is an economy? An economy comprises all activities related to production, consumption, and trade of goods and services in a country. Can you think about how many things are produced in the Republic of Mauritius and how much we spend on food, clothing, entertainment, and transport? Note that an economy grows over time, whereby more goods and services are produced. Now let's check your understanding on the lesson, the economy. You state whether the following statements are true or false. An economy refers to the land of a country. An economy grows over time. A larger economy means that more items are produced and consumers spend more. So now let's find out the answers. Number 1 says, an economy refers to the land of a country. Answer is false. An economy grows over time. Answer is true. A larger economy means that more items are produced and consumers spend more. Answer is true. Our next lesson is on GDP. What is gross domestic product? GDP is the total value of goods and services produced in an economy in a year. Try to think about the GDP of a wealthy economy. Yes, certainly a wealthy economy produces a lot of items and therefore has a large GDP. However, a poor economy produces only few items and has a small GDP. What about the GDP of Mauritius? Our GDP is quite high, but further developments in various fields will increase our GDP in the future. Now, let's check your understanding. Choose the correct answer from the multiple choice questions below. Gross domestic product refers to the number of people in a country, the amount of products that are produced in a country in a year, the prices at which products are sold, or the number of businesses in a country. Yes, the correct answer is B. That is, GDP refers to the amount of products that are produced in a country in a year. Number 2. A large economy has A. A low GDP, B. A high GDP, C. A large number of people, or D. A small number of people. As you might have guessed, the right answer is B. A large economy has a high GDP. Now let's take a look at the three main sectors of a country. All economic activities of a country can be categorized into three main sectors: the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary sector. The primary sector includes all activities such as agriculture, fishing, mining, and forestry. Can you name a few primary sector activities in Mauritius? Plantation of sugarcane, tea, and farming are some examples of the primary sector in Mauritius. The secondary sector includes all manufacturing and processing activities. Processing sugarcane into sugar, for instance, is an activity that is classified into the secondary sector. The activities of the secondary sector have expanded over the last decades in Mauritius. It has started with textile manufacturing, and now other activities like fish processing, jewelry making, construction, and so forth are becoming more important. The tertiary sector regroups all activities related to services, banking, retailing, insurance, and telecommunications are few examples. New tertiary sector activities such as ICT and business process outsourcing are emerging with time. The financial services now play an important role in the tertiary sector. What are your views about the services sector in Mauritius in the year 2020? These buildings in the cyber city may remind you of the extent of the tertiary sector in Mauritius. Yes, the services sector is the strongest pillar of our economy. Now we shall compare the contribution of each sector of the Mauritian economy after the independence. Open your SMS textbook on page 25. You will find this table. It shows a comparison of the contribution of each sector of the Mauritian economy to the GDP in the year 1970 and 2010. You will notice that in the year 1970, the primary sector, just like the secondary sector, contributed about a quarter of the GDP of Mauritius, while half of the GDP in the same year was the contribution of the tertiary sector. In the year 2010, however, you may find that the proportion that each sector contributes to the economy has changed. What can you deduce from this? From 1970 to 2010, the proportion of the contribution of the primary sector to the economy has reduced significantly. The proportion of the contribution of the secondary sector to the economy has slightly increased. On the other hand, the proportion of the contribution of the tertiary sector to the economy had significantly increased during that period. In the 21st century, the share of the primary sector has contracted significantly as activities such as agriculture is being replaced by factories and services. Now let us check your understanding of the lesson on the comparison of the contribution of the different sectors of the economy from 1970 to 2010. Try to guess the missing word. Over the years, the contribution of the primary sector to the Mauritian economy has. The answer is, over the years, the contribution of the primary sector to the Mauritian economy has contracted. Part B. In 2010, the blank sector was the largest sector of the Mauritian economy. Yes, you may have guessed it right. In 2010, the tertiary sector was the largest sector of the Mauritian economy. In this lesson, you have learned about what is an economy. GDP measures the total value of items produced in a country, the three sectors of an economy, and lastly, how the proportion of the three sectors of the Mauritian economy have changed over time. So that's all for today. Hope to see you soon. Till then, it's goodbye from me.